actually something that really worked for me, and I'm really excited to share this with you because I really believe that this is super helpful and actually kind of puts all those 3 things that I've mentioned together in one booklet. So this is not my secret, but this is something that has really helped, and I really want to share it with everyone. I've told several of my friends that have asked me how to study or what I did to study, and this is gold, or at least for me it is. So I love this technique, and I'm about to share it with you. Doing questions, no matter what field you're in, if you're doing a master's program, you're doing medical school, you're doing your PA, whatever it is, and you have a huge exam, doing questions is one of the most important way to study, and it's one of the most efficient way of studying. A guest lecturer actually had come in and told us, Dr. Kudrat, I'm not saying his name right, but he had told us if you've gone a day without doing questions, you've wasted a day. And since hearing that, I had done more questions. Maybe I wasn't very consistent every day, but I did more questions and I learned to face my fears. I wish I had heard that much earlier on, and I feel like maybe I probably did, but I didn't take the advice just because I was scared. So try to get over your fear and start off with 10 questions. Even if you get all of them wrong, it is okay. Just go through each of the explanations and try to learn why you got them wrong and study. And that's actually your way of studying. So just review that then. So I would do like a block of questions. So that's 40. A block would be 40, for example, or 46 or 50, depending on what QBank you use. But for UWorld, it was 40. So I did 40 questions. It took an hour, but then I would go back, I'll look at what I got wrong and why I got it wrong. So this is exactly what I did. For a few of the questions, I would read the question over again, and then I would see what I was thinking the question was asking and what they were actually asking, and I would actually write that down. So I went ahead and wrote, okay, this is what the question was asking, this is what I thought it was asking, and this is why I was incorrect, and this is what I need to think for the next time. So I kind of evaluated my thought process as I was reading the question and how to correct my thought process so that it's appropriate. So that is a technique of doing questions. And then I would go ahead and look at the question or the answer choices. The one that was correct, I would go ahead and see why that was correct and learn that concept. And then whenever I would write, I would try to write it in my own words. Or I would copy the explanation. The QBank or whatever QBank you're using, it usually has an explanation of each answer. It should. If it doesn't, don't use that QBank. Use something that has an explanation. And then you're going to go through. And if that explanation wasn't good enough and you're still confused, go ahead and find another source. Since you're on that concept, stay on that concept and try to learn it well. So Osmosis is something I went to, and it's an excellent source. It's a YouTube channel. I know they have a website. Never used the website, but I did use their, just recently, I used their YouTube videos. And so I would go in there and I would look up that video or that specific topic, and if they had it up, then I would go ahead and write an explanation in a different pen or a different color pen. So now I'm really learning a material, and now I'm building my quality and I'm decreasing my quantity, and that's okay. So over time, it's gonna go faster and faster. So I've done that, and now I'm going to look at the question or the answer choice that I had selected, which was wrong, and I'm going to explain why that was incorrect, and again kind of reiterate the concept over again. So I am repeating, but that's okay because that's part of the learning process, because now you're really hammering in that concept and putting it in there. And then I would do that for just about every question, especially in the very beginning. And then some of the questions that I got wrong and it was just really stupid why I got it wrong, I just went ahead and skipped it. And then even the questions that you got right and you felt uneasy about it, or it took you a really long time to get to that right answer, go ahead and try to explain that as well, just like you did the ones that you got wrong. And also, if you guessed, obviously you don't know the material and it was just a guess and it was a good guess, go ahead and try to explain why and do the same thing as you did for the wrong answers. So that's how you want to do it, and that's how you want to use a booklet. So you can use any type of notebook, but for me, I like cute things. So I like this cute notebook that I picked up at Ross, TJ Maxx actually, and it just has a cute saying in the very front. I don't know if you can see it. But it doesn't matter. So then it's like a little flip notebook, and I would write, and then I would just use this whole one side. But then once I was done, you know, gone through all the notes or all the pages, then I would go ahead and flip, and then so started on the back. I would start on the back, and then I would go through all of this and then fill this up, and then I would get another notebook. And I actually have a couple of these because I tend to write big, and I did a lot of questions, and it's not just questions that you can do. Like I said, if there's a concept that you really didn't understand well, go ahead and find another resource that explains the concept better, and then you're going to use a different pen, different colored pen, and write an explanation using a lecture or an outside source other than that Q bank that you used. And then also I used tabs. So a red was for stating that it was UWorld questions, or the Q bank that I used, and then the yellow was indicates that I need to go back to that specific page to learn that concept better. I usually put the yellow tabs when after going through it once, so I wrote it out. That was my note taking right on those questions, and then whenever I went to review it, as I was reviewing it, then I knew like which concepts to come back to again, and sooner than going through the whole thing maybe. And then yellow tab, or not yellow, blue tabs are the ones that I put in for lectures or outside sources that weren't part of the Q bank or any of the the Q bank. Now you can do by subject, or you just name it however you want, but I did by subject, so which I'll get into in a bit. So I listened to Goljan or Goljan. And for example, I did cardiology specifically, and then I put cardiology, Goljan, that was my source, and then I would go ahead and I took notes on his lecture. And I kept that in here because I may have gone, as I was doing questions, I may have done it by subject, so that's why it's like that. So I did various things. In the beginning I did mixed questions on UWorld, but then later I started doing per subject questions. Once you've done the notes, remember, like I said, when you do your initial note taking, and then you must review it for those notes to be worthy. Review the concepts or the questions that you got wrong and why you got them wrong, and you going through and reading it. Just read it and try to explain it out loud. So we're using 3 things in just this notebook. I did my notes, so I took the notes. I took as I did the questions, I took the notes, and so did the questions, took the notes, reviewed the notes, and then explained them out loud as well. So you just did 3 of the most important things in studying efficiently by using a notebook. So please try this out, and I'm telling you, you will definitely thank me. I hope that helped, and I hope I didn't talk too much. I tend to talk a lot. Let me know what you want to see next time. I'm really excited to be starting this new journey. Please share my videos, as I do want it to spread, and I do want it to help as many people as I can. Okay then, I'll see you guys next time.